This is the Crucial X8 1TB portable SSD. And it's supposed to be good. And when it was first released, it got a lot of praise from some very credible reviewers. I'm not an SSD expert, but I was an early adopter when the first SATA SSDs came out, so I had a pretty good expectation of what kind of performance you might see from a drive like this. And I've also bought some other external SSDs, including SanDisk's Extreme first generation, the version 1. My Crucial X8 never really performed as well you would have expected. It was so slow, in fact, I stopped using it. Eventually, I did reach out to Micron's customer support expressing my concerns, even though I was dreading it because I was expecting resistance. I got a prompt and courteous response from Micron's technical support, but as you might expect, it was measured. They suggested that my expectations for the X8 were maybe too high. In fact, maybe too high for any SSDs on the market. And then they broke out the technical speak. They started getting into trim and active garbage collection, which are basically processes that should just run in the background to kind of optimize the SSD, sort of keep it in tune like an instrument or maybe a car. And if you have to talk about trim and active garbage collection on your product these days, it's kind of a failure. These are just processes that should take care of themselves, and a consumer should never really have to bother with them. Also bear in mind that I had other SSDs to compare the X8 to. It was pretty clear that something was off. Meanwhile, Anontech.com, one of the best technology resources online, did a review of Micron's Crucial X8 2TB SSD. And they also sort of wrapped in comparisons of the 1TB that I had. And the test results that they got from both the 1TB and the 2TB, it was like a completely different product. So I got curious and I bought another Crucial X8, this time the 2TB SSD. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this, but I do trust Anontech.com. And I had a feeling that I could work this out with Micron. And as soon as the new 2TB X8 arrived, I did a quick comparison, and it wasn't even close. So I recorded a video of this test and I shared it with Micron. I thought for sure I had a slam dunk and we'd start the return and exchange process. But no, I got another response saying this could be down to cache or perhaps still the active garbage collection processes. So I was given some instruction on how to manually induce those processes. And while this was a little frustrating, I stayed calm and I executed all of the processes and followed all the instructions they asked me to perform to try and get the drive operating as optimally as we could. But even with the active garbage collection and even reformatting the drive a number of times, nothing improved. So once again, I did a video comparison this time with 4 SSDs. I, of course, shared this video continuing my correspondence with Micron's technical support, and then I reminded them of all of the active garbage collection processes I had gone through, all of the reformatting, and clearly compared to the other drives, which the X8 should be outperforming, it was several times slower. And I expressed concern over their assessment that if my 1TB X8 is performing as expected, then I've made not one mistake, but 2 mistakes in buying the second X8. They agreed for an exchange. And of course, when the new X8 1TB arrived, I did a test, and it was faster, much faster. With a little patience and persistence, Micron did make good. It did take a few emails and some time to reach this resolution point. And maybe part of that was maybe my methodology was overkill. I'd be curious to know what you think. And I can understand their cautious point of view. They probably do have to filter through a lot of complaints. Okay, so to wrap this up, now I can say I'm pretty happy with the Crucial X8. It copies close to 1 GB per second, which is pretty fast. And it's pretty good storage for the money as well, especially if you can find one on sale. That's going to be it for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, and we will see you in the next one. The drive was optimating. Optimating? What is optimating? I like that though. This is a disaster.